a lot of people start the new year with New Year's resolutions and all that sort of stuff, but habits aren't as simple as just going out and doing it. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it isn't. I read a book called The Power of Habit, or The Power of the Habit, something like that. It was a really interesting read, and they seem to allude to that it is very hard just to create a habit like that, but you almost have to replace old habits with these new habits. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I really like the idea of replacing, and I talked about this just recently with my partner at home, and we were discussing the fact that you do, rather than stopping something, you need to swap something. So I like the saying, swapping instead of stopping. Because when you do eliminate something, it really feels like it's almost like saying, don't think of a blue tree. The first thing you do is think of a blue tree. So when you say, I'm not going to do this, for example, if you're trying to change the habit of in the way you eat, and you drink a lot of Coke, say for example, and you say, okay, well, I'm not going to drink Coke anymore. That's super hard. All you do is start thinking about Coke. I want Coke, Coke, Coke. And, so when you swap something for something else, it just makes it so much easier. And, for me, coffee is an example of that. Like, I can't drink too much coffee because I'm quite sensitive to caffeine, and I get a headache if I don't have it. So for me, if I'm going to have a day off coffee what I try and do every 2 weeks now, I'll have to swap it with something else, so a tea, which does have some caffeine in it, but not as much, or like a smoothie or something.
So Jacob, what's the best way to go about creating new healthy habits? And a lot of people have good intentions, but as I said before, with most New Year's resolutions, I think being someone that goes to the gym, you might look at me and think he doesn't go to the gym, but I actually go to the gym. And
no, I was thinking you do go to the gym, because in our Facebook Live broadcast on NT Football Scores and News, I was looking at our arm difference, and wow, I've got some work to do.
Oh, thanks, Jacob. But the point I was trying to get at here was there's a massive, massive increase on people at the gym in those early days of January, and then it always drops off without fail. And that's just not people that go to the gym. It's probably people you see going for an evening run or something like that. But how do you get a habit to stick?
Well, look, I've been running boot camps for 5 years, 5.5 years. I don't do them anymore. I've stopped this year for the first time in that 5.5 years, just because I'm doing other things now. But I saw patterns emerge over that time. And so what I found was people will start to be interested in New Year's resolutions, obviously at the very start of the year, and exercise and fitness is a huge one of them. And so people start to pay attention and start asking the question in the first 2 weeks of January on, where to go to exercise and getting help and advice on exercise. In the second 2 weeks of January, so starting now, that really ramps up, and the inquiries start to really, really come in. Stuff generally starts around mid-January, but what I have found is that the first week in February is when most people really want to start. So those inquiries start trickling in for the first 2 weeks of January, really ramp up in the second 2 weeks of January, and people then want to start in the first week of February. And so what we're going to talk about, and actually just a side note to that, is the second most common time to start exercise in Darwin, in my experience of those 5 years in the fitness industry, was in the build-up. So it was through October, which you would think, and this is even outdoor stuff, which you would think would be a time people didn't want to be outdoors, but it's the whole, we've had a very busy dry season, people have been out and active, eating what they want, and probably not doing too much exercise, going out to festivals and things like that. There's so much to do in Darwin at that time of year.
Most NTFL clubs start their pre-season in October as well, just a week or two before the season starts, knowing true top-hand fashion.
Yeah, and they also, it's a time when people start thinking about wanting to get in a good shape for Christmas, and Casuarina Shopping Centre's got their Christmas decorations up by then already, so the thoughts in the back of the head. But to go back to the habits, so when you're starting a habit, it's really important that you progress through and you build upon it one step at a time. And so you could go with the technique of just ripping the band-aid off and going and starting a boot camp in the morning, or a gym class at the gym, or some group fitness class around the place on the Monday morning. Just go with your normal habits, just do what you're doing until the Sunday night, wake up Monday morning, go and attend. But what often ends up happening is that by lunchtime on that Monday, you're super tired, you're sore on the Tuesday because you've done something different and your body's sort of responding to that. And then on the Wednesday, if you haven't gone and done something on the Tuesday, which I suggest you do something light, just walk and stretch. But on the Wednesday, when you then back up for your second session, because most things are often a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then it's really difficult, because now you've got that tiredness from that psychological tiredness from waking up early on the Monday, but also the physical tiredness from doing all of a sudden starting exercise and that soreness. So what I like to say is spend a week preparing and creating that habit. So a week before you start, on the Monday morning, wake up. Before you go to bed, it's really important that you create a very good routine for the morning. So make it as simple as possible. So have your clothes set out, laid out beside your bed, ready to just roll over out of bed and put straight on straight away. And so on Sunday night, get those clothes out, and anything else you have to do, maybe prepare your lunch for the day or whatever it might be. But then on Monday morning, set your alarm to get up at the time you're going to get up to exercise. So we're going to talk about exercise in the morning and not exercise in the afternoon in this example. Then on the Monday morning, when you do wake up at that new time, just say it's at 5:30 a.m. and you're used to getting up at 7 a.m., which again we talked about last week with sleep.
Didn't know
But
that
that's
time
another
existed,
issue.
Jacob.
But get up, set your alarm, get up, and then go back to bed. Don't even do nothing else. Just get up at that time. Then on the Tuesday morning, do the same thing. So go through your nighttime routine to prepare yourself well for your morning routine. And then on the Tuesday morning, set your alarm to get up at 5:30, roll over out of bed, put your clothes on, and then stand up. Like just actually get out of bed. Then do the same thing on the Wednesday. So you build upon that, wake up at that new time, put your clothes on, go outside into your lounge room or whatever, leave your bedroom, make sure you physically leave your bedroom, but you don't actually even need to leave your house or your apartment. Then on the Thursday morning, do the same thing, wake up at 5:30, put your clothes on, go outside, and actually go outside this time. Go out to your car, or if you're going to go for a run, just go outside. And then on the Friday morning, drive to your destination. So wake up in the morning at 5:30, put your clothes on, go outside, get in your car and go to wherever it is you're going to be training. And so then once you've done that, you've then created this new mindset. You've created a very good, strong morning routine, and you've sort of subconsciously told your body and your mind what is going to happen. So then when you rock up for your first class on the Monday morning, that routine has already started to be set.
Very, very good stuff, and very practical advice there, Jacob.